A woman orders the knights to remove the crown prince for her beloved's sake, committing injustice. She leaves the bloody room, hoping her beloved will be happy as king. Ariadne enters the throne room, excited to hear about her successful removal of Crown Prince Alfonso. A red-haired man plans to make Ariadne the noblest woman in the kingdom. 9 years later, Ariadne becomes head of the palace's internal affairs, but people still criticize her humble background and if Cesare will really marry her. But she trusts Cesare's love for her. Ariadne heard a countess talking bad-mouthing about Cesare, and she attacks the countess, who tells her to badmouth her instead of Caesar. Cesare intervenes, rescuing the countess while urging her to do her work properly. He warns her not to act shamelessly or she will lose her marriage to him. Years pass, and Ariadne remains a fiancée while Cesare has another woman. One night, Cesare forces himself to Ariadne and reveals he will marry Isabella. But she replied that her sister is an impure widow and had miscarriage. However, Caesar calls Ariadne an inferior woman. Ariadne cries and exclaimed that he promised her to be his wife, but Caesar repeats that she is inferior to Isabella. Caesar, mortified, claims Isabella was meant for him and is upset that Ariadne is engaged to him. Ariadne exclaimed that she is the one who helped him with treason and sacrificed her ring finger for Caesar. Caesar calls for her to be locked up in the West Tower as she was a mad person. Ariadne wakes up to learn Caesar has been officially crowned king. Isabella inquires about Ariadne's sleep, while Ariadne is asked about her relationship with Cesare, but Isabella said to not talk ill to her husband. Ariadne apologizes for what she did with Alfonso, but Isabella criticizes Ariadne for attempting to be the queen. Isabella has experienced miscarriage rumors and wants Ariadne to take responsibility for them. Ariana is upset and blames her sister for ruining her love life. Isabella teaches her sister not to be hopelessly devoted to a man and to raise their value to make men swoon over them. Ariadne, who was faithful with her love, was abandoned by Cesare and is stabbed by her sister. She wishes to turn back time and remembers the golden commandment, do unto others what they do unto you. She wishes for a life where she can avenge, and she returns to her younger self, noticing a mole and a woman telling her to prepare for work. Ariadne swears to protect herself and refuses to stand still, as another maid claims someone came to take her back. Ariadne recalls her father's call back to the mansion. Her father is a cardinal who had a wife and children. Lucrezia, the cardinal's official mistress, had 3 children, including Isabella, the most beautiful woman in the city. Ariadne was a child from a servant and was kicked out for being a lowly servant. At the cardinal's mansion, Ariadne meets her menacing father, who is glad Ariadne has grown well. The mistress Lucrezia warns Ariadne to be graceful and respectful. In her past life, Ariadne believes Lucrezia is the standard of being a beautiful woman. She menacingly makes Lucrezia bitter in front of the cardinal. Lucrezia asks Ariadne to call her mother, but Ariadne calls her ma'am instead. Ariadne feels creeped out by the arrival of someone at the cardinal's office. Isabella, who she always considered a perfect sister, stabs her in the back. Ariadne thanks Isabella and the cardinal, who is happy with their relationship. Ariadne and the others leave the cardinal's office, while Lucrezia reminds her not to cause trouble. Arabella points out that Ariadne is a lowborn, but Ariadne teases Arabella about their mother and father's preference for Isabella. Arabella pushes Ariadne, but Ariana dodges, causing Isabella to be pushed instead. Arabella, scared of her actions, accuses Ariadne, but Ariadne explained that she may be uneducated but she is not lying and claims Arabella is just joking. The sisters are surprised by Ariadne's words and Isabella agree that Arabella was just joking to preserve her image that she is a good sister. Arabella was punished by locking her in her room for 2 weeks. Isabella refuses to marry an illegitimate child, urging her father to elevate their status. The cardinal, aware of the rumors, dismisses Cesare, the crown prince's cousin. They suggest marrying him to Ariadne. Ariadne acknowledges her past mistake and decides not to repeat it. She contemplates marrying someone else or running away after getting rich, but decides to avoid the unhappy ending of falling in love with Cesare. She was angered by her memory and will make Cesare pay for his actions. Suddenly, Miletta, a maid of Isabella, arrives to call Ariadne for the family dinner. Ariadne asks her to help her dress, but Miletta claims she is old enough to do so. Ariadne slaps Miletta, but Miletta told her that she is a peasant maid's daughter and she can also become like her by seducing the cardinal. But Ariadne slaps Miletta again, claiming it was for insulting her father. Lucrezia and Isabella enter her room, where she gets angry at Ariadne for hitting a household member, while Maletta acts as a victim. However, Ariadne claims that Maletta insulted the cardinal's bloodline and added that Maletta imagines getting pregnant by the cardinal. Lucrezia became angrier after hearing that and drags Maletta out and punishes her with 10 lashes. Ariadne apologizes for losing composure and offers 3 days in the Rambullet shelter. Ariadne asks to bring Maletta for amends and gain the maid's faith, but Isabella suggests 5 days of atonement. Ariadne arrives at the Rambullet shelter, where she finds the shelter in hopeless condition. The shelter was founded to aid the poor, but the allocated budget was meager. Maletta, closely following her while trembling in fear, was unaware of Ariadne's plan. A woman with red hair called out to her sister. Ariadne asked Maletta if she recognized her, and Maletta's expression darkened. Ariana threatened to leave her in the shelter to perish if she didn't comply. Ariadne experiences a vision of a white robe-wearing person asking Maletta and her sister Sancha to choose one of them to work for her. Maletta, angry, refuses, accusing Sancha of being a thief. Isabella chooses Maletta. Sancha is saddened while her sister warns her to stay quiet. The vision ends when Maletta joins Isabella and leaves the shelter. Ariadne is confused about the vision, unsure if it's a hallucination or a past vision. Ariadne saw Sancha malnourished and approached to confirm her sightings. She asked if she had an older sister. Sancha was surprised and asked if it is true that she saw her sister. Ariadne couldn't believe her suspicions and the vision she saw were true. Ariadne questions Maletta about the truth about Sancha, but replied she has never seen her before. After 2 days, Ariadne requests more food for Sancha, but the manager declines, stating they cannot afford special treatment. Ariadne proposes sacrificing her own meal ration for Sancha, leaving her feeling weak. Ariadne was startled when Prince Alfonso offered her an apple, causing her to regain composure. Despite her past sins, she saw it as a chance to get to know him. After 3 days of fasting, she felt relieved and chuckled when Prince Alfonso complimented her. This unexpected encounter marked a new opportunity in her life. Ariadne didn't said to him that she knew his identify. Prince Alfonso asked about Ariadne's stay and if she would continue giving away her food. Ariadne answered she can last long thanks to the apple. However, Alfonso gave another food while she accepted it. However, Prince Alfonso was disappointed that their conversation would end soon. Before departing, Ariadne shared her full name with Prince Alfonso. Ariana returns to the manor with Sancha after her punishment, but her stepmother confronts her. Isabella notices the prince's initials on the handkerchief and explains she met him at the Rambullet, thinking he was inspecting the place. Isabella offers to intern at Rambullet, but the mother stops Isabella, stating it's not suitable for a lady. Isabella requests Sancha stay and promises to meet Prince at a party. An argument ensues, but Ariadne's plan involves Sancha working at the manor.